Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving right into something that quite literally hangs over your head every single day, and that's how to protect your Bixby home from Oklahoma's absolutely relentless weather. We're pulling some phenomenal expert insights directly from United Roofing Oklahoma City to build you the ultimate homeowner's survival guide. So let's just get right into it.
Here's our roadmap. We'll be covering Oklahoma's brutal weather threats, how to spot hidden roof damage, the emergency response process, navigating your insurance claim, and finally, building a totally weatherproof roof.
Okay, Part 1. Oklahoma's brutal weather threats. Right off the bat, our source material drops this fact. Bixby sits in one of the most aggressive weather corridors in North America. Think about that. Your roof isn't just up there deflecting a light afternoon drizzle. It is literally standing guard 24/7 in one of the most hostile weather environments on the entire continent. We are talking about a relentless four-season attack here. This isn't just some one-and-done storm season. You've got spring hail that literally shreds your shingles. Then, summer rolls in, and that intense heat just bakes and warps the materials. Come fall, high winds tear through, threatening to rip the flashing and ridge caps right off. And to top it all off, winter brings these vicious freeze-thaw cycles that split seals and build up massive ice dams.
And when we say spring hail, we need to picture the sheer violence of what that actually means. We're talking about golf ball-sized chunks of ice slamming into your house at 60 miles per hour. Just try to imagine the kind of structural resilience you need up there to take that kind of beating month after month.
But here's the crazy part. It's not just the stuff falling from the sky. The ground beneath you and the local geography play a massive role too. If you're near the Arkansas River Valley or over by South Yale and East 151st, you're facing completely unique, honestly harsher wind patterns. And then throw in the shifting clay soil all over Tulsa County. When that soil shifts, your foundation settles. That stress travels straight up your walls into the roof structure, pulling on flashing connections and creating these tiny invisible gaps just waiting for water.
Which brings us to Part 2, spotting hidden roof damage. Have you ever heard of hail bruising? I mean, it sounds like something that happens to a piece of fruit, right? But on a roof, it is a super sneaky hidden condition. When the hail hits, it might not punch a hole clean through, but it actually bruises the shingle underneath, cracking that protective granular layer. This completely compromises the roof's ability to shed water long before you ever see a stain on your living room ceiling.
This comparison really hits the nail on the head regarding why just eyeballing your roof is so dangerous. What you see from the driveway, maybe a few granules washed into the gutter, it looks like, minor cosmetic wear. But underneath the shingles, the wind has lifted the edges, snapped those adhesive seals, and the decking itself is bruised and completely vulnerable. Honestly, by the time you actually notice a leak inside, that damage has probably been silently spreading across your decking for weeks.
All right, moving on to Section 3, the emergency response process.
So, the worst happens. Water is coming in. Time is absolutely of the essence here. According to the pros, this timeline is measured in hours, not weeks. Within hours of a severe storm hitting, even in the dead of night, emergency crews are out there throwing tarps, plywood, and temporary flashing up on your roof. Securing your home before the sun even comes up literally prevents thousands in extra interior damage. Then, the very next day is all about thorough documentation, getting you set up for a full replacement that usually takes just 2 to 4 days from start to finish.
Once that immediate panic is over and the house is secured, the permanent fix kicks off. Local pros use a really streamlined 3-step process. First up is a massive inspection. They even get up into your attic to hunt for moisture. Then comes the tear-off and a strict, code-compliant installation. And finally, the ultimate check. They do a full final inspection that includes running multiple magnetic sweeps to grab any stray nails hiding in your grass, which fully secures your warranty. Section 4. Navigating your insurance claim.
Now, this is the part people usually dread, but seriously, don't panic. The process is incredibly structured. If you follow these precise steps, it completely demystifies the whole thing. First rule, the minute a storm passes, document everything with photos from the ground. Then file your claim, prep for the adjuster, and here is the absolute key. Get an independent estimate from a local contractor before the adjuster even sets foot on your property.
I cannot overstate why local expertise is a game changer right here. You do not want to rely on some out-of-state crew just chasing storm fronts. Local Bixby experts actually know the exact local building codes.
They know precisely how to photograph an impact point, how to measure a wind-lifted shingle, and how to document the specific code violations that adjusters literally require to approve your claim and meet your deductible. It's huge.
And finally, Section 5, building a weatherproof roof.
Okay, so once the claim is sorted, you've got a choice. You can rebuild to the standard minimums, which for Oklahoma is a Class F wind rating, or you can upgrade. The experts highly recommend jumping up to a Class H wind rating and Class 4 impact resistance. Why spend the extra cash? Because beating the minimum code practically pays for itself. Not only does your home's survival rate skyrocket for the next storm, but a lot of insurance carriers will actually hand you significant premium discounts for making those exact upgrades.
And just to put that Class 4 impact rating into perspective, let's talk about how they test these things. They don't just lightly tap them in some lab. They undergo the UL 2218 standard, which means they literally drop 2-inch solid steel balls right onto the shingles from 20 feet up in the air. Trust me, if a shingle survives that drop without cracking its water-shedding layer, it is more than ready to handle a Bixby spring hailstorm.
But fortification isn't just about taking hits. It is also about handling extreme temperature. If you go for energy-efficient cool roofs that use reflective coatings or lighter colors, you can drop your roof's surface temperature by an absolutely incredible 50 degrees. During a blistering Oklahoma summer, that right there translates directly into massive savings on your utility bills and a way more comfortable house. Keep in mind, a roof is a whole system, which means you've got to look at your ventilation too. It is the total unsung hero working behind the scenes. Proper attic ventilation, getting that perfect balance of intake and exhaust through your ridge and soffit vents, stops summer heat from literally baking your brand new shingles from the inside out. Plus, in the winter, that exact same airflow is what keeps those awful, destructive ice dams from building up on your gutters.
Finally, as you're mapping out this ultimate upgrade, think about the lifespan you want. High-quality, impact-resistant asphalt, that'll give you a really solid 15 to 25 years of protection. But upgrading to a metal roofing system, that can defend your home for over half a century. We're talking 40 to 70 years of elite wind resistance and heat reflection. That's not just a roof. That's generational peace of mind. So, we've covered the brutal weather threats, that sneaky hidden damage, the 911 emergency response, the whole insurance game, and exactly how to build an absolute fortress over your head. Taking all of this in leaves us with one pretty urgent question for you to answer today. When was your last professional post-storm roof inspection? Because I promise you, the time to find out your roof is compromised is definitely not when water starts dripping onto your dining room table. Get it checked, get it fortified, and stay safe out there, Bixby.